Putting the new turbo on the 240. We're gonna be taking that one off, pulling the manifold off. There was a slight exhaust leak and I'm not sure what it is. I think it might be just the gasket may have pushed out for some reason. So I'm gonna take the manifold off, pull the turbo off, pull the oil lines, the O2 sensor, and then we're going to open up this bad boy. Precision 6266 with a 0.68 rear exhaust housing. That's going to let this thing spool up hopefully like right around $3,000. All right. So this is the 0.68 rear exhaust housing, a lot smaller than the one I have on there now. I can probably one-hand this bitch. Probably not the best idea, but it'll be all right. That is the stock exhaust housing. Well, stock, no, not the stock housing. But you can see this is this is a 0, I believe it is. Yeah, it's a 0.0, so that fucker is almost twice as big. It's kind of hard to tell in the video, especially because I'm holding this turbo closer than that one, but it is a considerable amount smaller. It's the same exhaust size, the same V-band exhaust, so the turbo will hopefully sit the same spot. I don't think there's going to be any lateral changes. So we'll get this thing mounted up and to get the oil lines prepped, and then I'm going to get some measurements for the exhaust, because you know, as fun as it is to have the exhaust just dumping out the hood, it's just not practical, and especially when you're trying to like have the AC on, it comes through the cowl and it just kind of smokes you out. And as much as I love being up off E85 fumes, I rather not sometimes. So, might not be able to hear me very well. We're warming up the car, about to head down to NM Imports. Should be there here in about a couple minutes and we'll get started. All right, so not being tuned with the boy TJ, fucking, it runs honestly really good. Try and capture the sound. Hopefully you can hear it on the GoPro, maybe not. I mean, it's hard to miss. We were questioning if we should drive on the freeway, and I decided drives well enough down Paseo. Alright, so right when you get to about half throttle, it starts to go really rich. You went down to like 8, and then it just obviously starts Sam, a very cautious driver.
Oh, what was that? Man, the noise is gone.
I had like a nail in the tire or a screw, and it was hitting the asphalt, and now it's silent, so we might be changing a tire. Oh, the key just fell out. My bad. Like you said, if the key doesn't fall out, we have an issue. Right, so we just pulled up to NM Imports. Gonna be chatting with Eric here in a minute. I'll introduce you guys to him. I forgot my mask, so I'm hoping Eric has one to spare. So I didn't bring an extra one. I fucked up. So we're just waiting to fill out some paperwork, him to get some of the electronics to hook up to this ancient ECU.
You can move that one. Power steering on 240s is fucking horrible.
My bad, man. Yeah, I know. The power steering and the no e-brake's kind of a shit show.
The clutch pedal's hitting the brake pedal.
Yeah. It's an
holy shit, the pedal's stuck. Oh,
that's an automatic part.
The life of 240s, dude.
You know, it's just something you have to live with.
We're either gonna have a real good time or we're about to see some spectacular things.
So we're guessing the springs and the wastegates are like 12 or 14 pounds. So I'm thinking on that should be like 450, I think.
450, yes.
Maybe.
Our power goal or boost goal.
I'm thinking we can push it to 7, depending on how much we can get to flow through the head.
Okay.
But you tell me, my man.
On the motor and good gas, it's really whatever you want.
I'm thinking this mass airflow sensor might not read at like...
Mass air will run out at 5. Yep, you need to go speed density for over 500.
Well, let's see where she goes.
Well, that's even assuming it's a Z32 man.
It is,
It is.
Okay, it'll run out right around 5.
Shoot.
Well, let's make 500 horsepower.
All right, so I'm still a MAF car instead of a MAP car, meaning we're probably gonna run out of sensor at about 500 horse. So our goals of 7 are out the window at the moment until I get a new computer and swap it over, and then we'll have the ability to go to the 7 mark. So I'm hoping we're leaving today at 500. Should be relatively easy, I'm hoping, but we definitely got a flat tire on the highway over here, so got to figure that out once we're done here. Made 153 horsepower, 170 foot-pounds of torque. A 360. That's the second pull. I underestimated how loud it's gonna be once it comes up on a wastegate. What's max boost on it?
That was 13 over there.
Did it even out?
13 pounds. It spiked in the middle. So we hit 13 at 5,300.
Okay.
And then at red line, it fell down to 10.3.
Okay.
So we got a restriction somewhere. Could be small exhaust, could be small cams. But
Okay.
the boost isn't carrying flat, it's spiking and falling off.
Okay.
If you're really going for 700, I'll probably go up to like a 4-inch exhaust.
Okay.
I've pushed 3.5 up to around 700. But on another Skyline,
Yeah.
we were stuck at 750, couldn't get up any higher.
Yeah.
We just changed exhaust and instantly next pull hit 900.
But once I do the conversion over to the AEM or the Megascore ECU with the MAP sensor instead of the MAP, then I'll do a different exhaust housing and probably do the 4-inch so that we can achieve that 700. So what's going on is the air coming from the turbo is blowing out the spark. So basically what we have to do is close the gap on the spark plugs, and that will allow us to have a cleaner burn of the fuel and a better ignition. It's breaking up a little bit on the top end once it hits boost, and that's why it's starting to hesitate a little bit more. So once we can close the gap, it should, in theory, clean up the pulls we're doing. But it could also be the coil packs not producing enough energy. So we're about to pull some more fuel out of it and see if that changes a little bit. If it does, then we can just gap them down a little bit more. But if not, then we'll have to put new coils on it. All right, he's going for the third pull. He just pulled some fuel out of it, and hopefully we should make about 450. Yeehaw! It was just a pipe off the turbo. Alright, so that was the fourth pull, right? Hit
Green bar.
the green bar at 380. Let's see. So 412, 340 torque.
That was only 14 pounds that time.
And only 14 pounds of boost. So it's turned it up to about 18, 20. See what happens. That is scooting. Just hit 450. Fifth run 449, 370 torque. Yeah, just like 1,700 horsepower, bro. Me too.
It's not hurting power having it rich. Let me throw a little bit more at idle.
Okay.
I mean, it isn't even like stumbling with it that lean either, but let me put a little more in.
So the best is 452.
Because I wasn't named brand enough.
373 torque.
He wanted to have.
We need fuel pumps. We need a map car. So I'm gonna need a new ECU. Gonna need better boost controller because the boost controller wasn't even changing it. It went up about 3 pounds with the controller on there. I guess this Turbo Smart is not ideal, but Eric did all he could. So from here we'll go new ECU, new boost controller, more fuel, and we should probably push it towards that 600 mark before we need cams.
More boost.
And more boost
All we
because
need.
cylinders. But if you need any EFI tuning, Eric, SQC Tuning, hit him up here in Albuquerque. And then hopefully get back on the dyno here in the next, I'm hoping 2 months, 3 months. Make 600.
Let me know.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
2021 racing season.
2021. If that's even a thing anymore. Got tired.